You've been away for a while.
Yes. Okay, say welcome.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. Back again. We have Jenny Lou back in the house.
Back by popular demand.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, fine. There was nobody else available this week. But this is also known as popular demand.
Yeah,
I'm your popular demand backup.
that's true.
I'm a backup dancer. Host.
How was your time away?
Yeah, it was great.
You went to Puerto Rico.
I did not go to Puerto Rico. I went to Costa Rica.
Well, that's just Costa Rica in English, but Puerto Rico is in Spanish.
No.
Puerto Rico is Spanish for Costa Rica.
Okay. So I went to Canada, and then I went to Costa Rica, and then I went back to Canada, and then I came here. So 5 weeks away. It was great, but it was also, I was ready to come home and be back in the UK to live my best British life, yeah.
And how are you finding being back? Are you happy? What are you doing this year? What's the plans?
Well, I'm jet lagged, that's
Yes,
for sure.
Agreed.
I'm still working as a producer.
Yep.
Working on a project right now that's a collaboration between the UK and China.
Oh, fancy
With the R&D happening in April. So I'm kind of all full mode in planning that because April is basically tomorrow morning.
Well,
tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, and Costa Rica is English for Puerto Rico. Same thing.
Well,
and April is tomorrow.
well.
We're giving you all the facts.
And then, well, I might as well just put it out there on the podcast.
Put it out there.
Make it public information. But I have been in a full-time job for the past 2 years, producing with Farouk Chowdhury. But I am going back to freelance as of May 2024. So I'm going back out there on the market if you want me.
And who are you looking to work with? What type of people?
I'm quite open to different opportunities. And I am kind of interested in working with artists that want to explore the kind of digital realm of production and the integration of art and not necessarily AI, but like also augmented reality, extended reality, all of the realities.
But still dancers or open to any artists?
Open to any artist. I mean, dance is what I have the most knowledge in, but I'm not. I think I'm quite interested in productions or projects that are multidisciplinary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like if there's a digital aspect to it, it like for sure is going to be multidisciplinary in a way. So yeah, and kind of site specific productions, things that are a bit more experiential, like a bit more on the immersive performance / experiential. And I'm kind of interested in also doing things that are a bit more like on the commercial side or
okay. Like doing like, I don't know, tech stuff for like Samsung or this type of like, that type of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But I think it's like, well, I'm going to just do my whole pitch on the, whole pitch on the podcast. But I think that, more and more, there is the meeting of like experience and art. Like when we went to the Art of Genius, for example,
the Montclair
event, and at 180 recently there was like Gucci Cosmos, which is a Gucci exhibition, but it's kind of you enter the space and you're in a Gucci bar and you kind of enter a whole universe. And even from, I didn't go to the performance, but from what I saw of like Salt, the performance, it was kind of a whole production where you kind of enter a space and it's not just sitting in a theater and watching something, which I think is still valid. But I just think that the future of where we're heading in the arts is more and more towards the things that are more like a immersive, even with what Boy Blue did with The Matrix. It's still like early days in sense of there are things being done, but it's still like a lot of things will be like, oh, it's the first time I go to something like this, or
like everything is more unique these days. In a way.
Yeah. And I think that also this is like an interesting opportunity for like commercial things to cross over with art, and it's kind of a white space at the moment where there's not really rules of how you do things.
So like there used to be a time when to be a musician, you go and do a concert and that's the way that you perform music always.
Yeah.
And then in the concert, there's only limited ways that you can interact with other people. You can have dancers on stage. You can maybe have like some talking in between your songs, but there's kind of limited that. But now, because they're making these unique things that are like not necessarily just a concert, it's like you said, like an immersive concert with an exhibition and this and that. So then it's now you're able to have like a painter that's involved, or someone that does like fashion, or someone that does like tech and AI, and it's all part of what used to be like a concert, but now it's a whole mix of all, because it's not strictly a concert anymore.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, even if you think of like theater, I think now it's gotten like, of course, what like the content of what you put on stage still has like you know, freedom to explore and try things, but I think like the convention of theater is quite set, you know, and the venues that program theaters program a certain kind of work. And
well, that's the thing, you still have the freedom to explore technically, but
there's a lot more conventions that are
so the medium stays the same, and it's kind of like you're able to do the same thing, but you don't go into the audience, you don't do this, you can't have like whatever on stage. But then there's also the like almost like cultural subconscious, like, okay, you might not get booked as much if you're a experimental, because they're like, oh, we don't know how audiences will, like, we have a set type of audience and they want this type of thing. So
I think that and like added to that is kind of the digital element, and you know, adding like augmented reality or extended reality or all of that like even more opens up the possibilities of what can you make, like what can you create in a space, what kind of, you know, how can you enhance something where even if you physically leave the space, you don't necessarily like leave the world. You know, and even I think there's like, even this gets close to gaming, you know.
Okay, in what way?
Like, well, if you think of it, it's like gaming, you enter a world and then you're part of that world and you interact with it. And then it's like, well, if you go into a performance and then you like enter a world and you're a character and then you can interact. It's kind of like getting closer to, you know,
like an open world game where everything's interact. Like, I guess the gaming parallel might be that before it was like platform games where you have one objective and you have to get from here to there, do that, and you can't stray from the course. It's just follow that, go around that, everything else is locked. Now it's open world where you can go every different direction and do things as you choose to and experience it how you want. And then maybe there's some sort of like through line or narrative in there. But like maybe you're saying that's like kind of the future of like performance, where it's like it used to be you show up, sit in a seat, listen to me sing for an hour, go home. Now it's like, well, you listen to me sing when you feel like, and then you go and do this, and then you go and do this.
And it's like even I think there was like somebody told me about like a performance where you put on, like, it was a dance performance and you put on a pair of Oculus, and then you were walking through the performance and you could interact with the artists, and you were
I did one with Kendra a long time ago. She might be someone to speak to about this type of thing. But I did one with her. It was called Nox 360, and this was nearly a decade ago maybe. But it was like a performance where you put the Oculus on and it's like you looked, it was like the 360, it wasn't an Oculus but it was like 360 glasses, and then you could look around and look at whichever part of the performance, and like the way we recorded the performance was like in a circle around the camera, so then whichever way someone looked there was something happening.
But it's like, this is the performance I'm saying, is like you, like as an audience member you could like impact what happens. It's not just you get a 360 view, it's like you're part of,
well, isn't that kind of the what's that, the company that you've gone to see their stuff and you like walk through the...
Oh, it's Punch Drunk.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, what do they do?
Yeah, they do immersive performances. So they like take over whole buildings and there's like different part of the stories happening in different places and you can follow the characters and all of that.
Almost like a, not to minimize it, but like a haunted house dance type of thing. Like you walk through and the characters react to when you walk in.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying kind of like that plus tech.
Yeah, and like,
or like either
that plus tech, or just a tech version of that, or just that. But I just think it's like there's a new space that's opening into like creating that kind of thing. More and more brands are doing it. More and more like fashion brands especially are kind of you know, not a step ahead, but like kind of we're seeing more and more of that.
Well, there's less tradition. Well, no, that's
it's just more an open space of like, it doesn't have rules and there's a lot of.
I think that's one of the criticisms of like not hip hop dance necessarily, but like contemporary and ballet, is that there's so much like tradition and like status quo in the way it's done is very much like it's got to be this way because that's how. And I guess if the demographic that watch it are a bit older, they don't want it. They just want what they're used to seeing, and that tends to be the people that have more money, so they're paying for the ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But and that's why I think is the future as well, because I think it's like sitting and going to a theater is always going to be a thing. Like it's like movies didn't replace going to the theater. It's a different experience. But I do think that, like, you know, the pre-pandemic numbers and the pre-pandemic era of people going to the theater and all of that like has changed, and I don't know that we're going back.
Well, and also there's the thing that like the demographic, there is a younger demographic engaging with the arts. Yeah, exactly. Nowadays.
And this is the thing. It's like if you're talking about like the generation that is younger than me. And like how expensive it is to go to the theater
to see something that they might be bored in,
and how you spend your money. It's like I feel like people are a lot more willing to, you know, even when they had the like Van Gogh exhibition, like the Van Gogh exhibition that's 360 or something like that. It's like that is a lot more appealing than going to a normal museum.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's something you can like experience in a lot of in like a multi like dimensional or, you know, a new way, and that you can kind of be part of. So I think that that's what we're heading in terms of what people want to spend their money on, experiencing something rather than just kind of sitting and consuming something. If you want to do that, you don't even have to leave your house and you have so much choice. So I just think there's a big shift in how we're consuming and wanting to experience culture. So that's kind of what I'm interested in kind of exploring and developing in, but I'm not very like, I'm not a super techie person. So I think I just have to immerse myself in kind of do research, do projects, try things and have fun with it.
Yeah. And I guess if people want to reach out to you, they should email you.
Yeah. Slide in the DMs.
And propose you some projects.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you know, for me, it's not even just a thing of like, oh, you propose me a project as in like, oh, you want to hire me. But it's more like, even if something that I'm saying resonates with a project you have going on, I'm also open to just meeting with people, chatting, knowing what they're up to. Yeah. You know, them getting to know me more and then seeing how things evolve. It doesn't necessarily have to be like,
either hire me or don't talk to me.
Yeah. It's more like, because this is such a new chapter for me, and also a space that I have a lot to learn. Then I'm just kind of curious to know what's happening out there. And yeah,
sounds good.
That's my pitch.
Cool. Well, capsule listeners.
Yeah.
Slide.
And
especially if you're tech people or interested in tech or dancers or artists that might want to work with tech. Even if you're not a tech person, you want to be, that could be something that you guys work on together.
Yeah.
If they've got the ideas, you can produce that and make it happen.
Yep, perhaps.
Boom.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Did you miss me?
No. Not even slightly.
Wow. I didn't know this was a live podcast now.
A live
podcast.
I'm all right. Yeah, just working on the Friday event.
Oh, what's happening on Friday?
The Nike on the Floor sessions.
Ooh.
The first one anyway.
Are you excited? Are you shy?
No, I'm not excited yet. I am stressed still, and I won't be excited until I see people there having fun. After like the first couple of hours, then I'll probably relax.
Okay.
It was the same with the battle.
Yeah.
I was like stressed. I didn't sleep the night before.
Yeah.
And then
it went well, and everybody loved you, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, that was such a good event."
Yeah. Well, now I have to do it again. Well, we have to. It's not all on me, but it feels like that when
you're alone in your bed at night.
Yeah, basically. But no, it should be good. So 6 p.m. to midnight on Friday, which will be, this will probably come out tomorrow. So today's Wednesday. On Friday night, 16 plus event, 2 DJs back to back, playing music all night. There's space to cypher, have fun, train.
And it's all style music.
Yeah, all styles of music.
Because you have Josh and Glade, and they're both hip hop DJs, but
they're just DJs. We just had them for a specific category in the battle, but they both DJ like crazy good events all the time. So yeah, they're going to be playing a little bit of something for everything. I know there's like some of the whackers I said they're coming down. Yeah, one thing we haven't actually announced yet, that I don't know that we're actually going to announce it because we're going to more leave it for people to see on the night, but this is for you Capsule listeners. You guys get all the good exclusives. But basically we had for the battle, we had this idea where we had prelim guests, right? So we didn't want to give people like battle guest like position, because the people that we wanted to support and help were maybe not all there yet in terms of being like battle guests, but we didn't want to say, well, then we don't want to support you at all. We wanted to find a way to support people who were on the verge of like being kind of more long term in the scene, or maybe just needed a push or whatever. So for the prelim guest thing we did, basically they got like a spot saved for them to enter the battle with no guarantee that they'd get through, but they kind of got stuff like to support them. They got some stuff from Nike. They got a workshop with me to prepare them for the battle. So like kind of like supporting people who, we always support the people who are already good, but it's like sometimes you need to support the people who need the push.
Who are up and coming.
So in the same way, we are doing something. We haven't quite found an official name for these people yet, but basically we're going to have 5 people every session who are going to be in the space as people that are there to help, basically. So they're going to be 5 women, female role models, which is good for all of us. But they're going to
definitely be one of them.
No, you're hosting. Okay. You can't do both. But basically what they're going to do is they're going to be in the space as kind of like, I guess, beacons if you need any help. So they're going to be there chilling, enjoying the event. But their job is to basically look out for anyone that looks a bit nervous, that feels like maybe they don't know anyone there, or they don't know what to do. How do I get into a cipher?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a whacker. I don't know anyone. Can you introduce me to some whackers? I'm a crumpet. Can you introduce? And then their job is like, to be the life of the party, be jumping in the ciphers and like, you know, creating some buzz. But also just keeping an eye out for anyone that looks like they might be vulnerable or expresses that. Yeah. And and helping them out basically on the night. So we'll point them out on the night, and they'll point themselves out as well. But yeah, we're going to have a different 5 people every session.
Like, are they going to have like a special shirt or something?
No, I don't think they're going to have like a specific shirt, but we're going to point them out, and then it's more like because for example, if you're a young lady who feels, or a young man who feels, vulnerable, maybe you don't want to be
like shy.
Yeah, so like you might not want to go over to the person with the bright orange shirt and be like, look like you're asking for help. You might just want to look like you're chatting. So it's a bit more low key if they don't have a special shirt or anything.
Maybe they should just have like a black shirt then.
Well, we'll point them out. It's fine. But the idea came from when I was in the pandemic for about 2 months. I decided to get into skateboarding because there wasn't much else to do, and I went with Joe, Monkey Flip Media, to a couple of like skate parks, and one of the places we went was an indoor skate park, and they had a beginners night. And I like every time they have the beginners night, they also have a couple of like, I don't know if they're pros, but like good level skaters who are just kind of like kicking it and like skating back and forth, but their job is not necessarily to be like teachers or to tell you what to do, but they're just keeping an eye on everyone. So I'd be like struggling and falling off my skateboard, and then the guy would like come over and be like, yo, like try this way or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then he'd like go. Yeah. And it just feels so nice. So when you have like a beginner's night like that, where it's like, you're not all just in there like headless chickens, like there's someone keeping an eye out. And you know, it ended up like I learned actually the kind of best trick that I got was because this guy was like showing me stuff on the inside things. So yeah, basically we were like, okay, well, I thought, that would be a cool way to like bring this into the dance space.
I like this idea. It's like kind of like
easing you in.
Yeah, and I think this is a kind of thing that's like not missing, but that's difficult sometimes with the street dance community, even with like what the capsule is doing. But it's like, unless you're doing it, or like unless you're just willing to throw yourself in the deep end and just kind of like go blind and just try, which is really difficult
for most people.
And especially like depending on your age or your confidence level. But it's like, you know, I think just having somebody who kind of reassures you and nudges you you know, isn't like, okay, let me hold you by the hand and do that, but just be like, yeah, you're good, you know.
Yeah. Well, we all had that, like in some way. Like even if we threw ourselves in the deep end, the only reason a lot of us got into the scene is because we found that makeshift person. Like was it Sam for you?
I mean, there was like different people that played it at different times, but I just think it's a nice idea to incorporate, especially because I know, you know, I know that the point of the sessions is for sure to cater to the dance, like to the already existing dancers and the already existing community. But I know that part of it is also like a way for other people as well to kind of a way in.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think that's what we're missing a lot. Is like that if you are someone who doesn't dance and you want to get into the battle scene, or the kind of cultural aspect of it.
Yeah.
The only way you can really do it is by coming to battles. And a lot of time everyone's already with their friends. They're getting ready to compete. Like there's not really as many like social moments. And now the after parties are like half an hour long. You know what I mean? It's just like a quick break at the end and then it's like, right, everyone get out.
Or even if you have a practice session at a studio, I feel like that would be super intimidating if it's not something you've done before.
Exactly. And you can't just come and hang out. Like it's not really those sort of places where you can come and just chill. Like this is like you could bring a friend that's not a dancer and they could just come and sit and hang out and like maybe even learn a couple of steps or whatever. So anyway, so that's the kind of we're calling them like brand ambassadors, but then I don't like that name as much.
Capsule Links.
Yeah, Capsule Links is not a bad idea. But there'll be 5 different people every time in the space who will be there to help out.
Yeah, because we could be like, oh, here are your links for the night.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not a bad idea. We'll pitch it.
I am a branding genius.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but some might say.
A lot might say.
And yeah, that's it. It's going to be a good night. And there's still a few priority tickets left, but you can also show up on the night and do your thing. So tell a friend, come down, make it happen.
And if ever, because if I'm right,
mistaken,
like there's 300 spots that people can book online. But if ever you want to come and all the places are booked out, you can still show up.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a matter of how many people are in the space at
because if those
time.
priority ticket people come for a few hours and leave, then their spaces open up and you can go in. So there's always space and possibility to get in. So still come down for sure. And there's ciphers. You can jam and party and have fun. You can sit and chat with your friends. There'll be a whole room for like just sitting and chilling with some beanbags. You can call people out if you're a battlehead that can't get enough.
I'll call you up.
You can try.
Haven't danced in 3 years, but
I was gonna say, I feel like that ship has sailed.
Well, you never know.
All right, try me.
Maybe the ship's coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe the ship is back in the harbor.
Yeah.
Waiting for its next trip.
Okay. I won't be surprised if I get called out one of them. That when I
come on, call him out.
Oh, for fuck's sake, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
You got something to say to the capsule.
Don't do that, because there will be a line.
Don't slide in his DMs.
There'll be like the priority queue, that queue, and then the call out queue will be the longest one.
Yeah, if you call out Luke, you get in for free.
Everyone gets in for free.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, that's the first one is this Friday 26th, and then the second one is the 16th of Feb, so actually only 3 weeks after the first one. So basically this one will happen, there's a week, and then the Thursday of next week the sign up opens. Right. So 2nd of Feb the sign up opens.
We can celebrate my birthday on the
ones.
On the 16th.
True.
Yeah.
Can.
I expect a Nike cake.
A Nike cake.
Yeah.
A Nike cake. What else? So there's also Beyond the Moves. So basically, as soon as this finishes on Friday night at midnight, I'm going to a hotel in King's Cross, waking up at 4 in the morning.
Give the address in case anybody's interested.
Waking up at 4 in the morning and going to Paris for Beyond the Moves.
Oh, excuse you.
Excusez-moi. Which I'm super excited for. That should be a really cool event. Nikhil Udat was on this podcast and he talked about his event and stuff, so go back and find that episode if you're interested. He also runs a program called Beyond the Moves that a lot of people listen to. There's a lot of capsule listeners that also do his program or stuff like that. But yeah, the event should be really good. It's Friday's the pre-selections. Mm-hmm. Saturday they do a top 16 which battle down to a top 2. those top 2 go immediately to join 6 guests, and then they do another top 8 back down.
Okay.
And then the finals are on the Sunday, so they go down to the
Sick. And are you covering the event as a capsule?
Yep, covering the event as a capsule. So the and there's also choreo competition on the Sunday as well. So it's something that Nickel pioneered in the UK years ago at Madame Jojo's. Funnily enough, he did it. They called it something different. It wasn't called Beyond the Moves. It was called Choreo Masters.
Okay,
I want to say, but his concept was basically the choreographers enter. You dance. It's like me with 2 dancers. You do the piece. Everybody does it with their 2 dancers. Then they do it again, but by themselves. So you see it twice, once as a solo, once as a group, and then they pick a winner from that.
And then once just the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick.
And then one's in silence. It's just an empty stage.
Sick.
Thanks for your stupid input.
That's why the people love me.
No, that's not why the people love you. And then, so also when the guests join, and it's the top 6 upwards, they do it's like 5 rounds each battle.
Right.
And then the finals on the Sunday are 8 rounds. And they do you start for 4 rounds, and then it switches and I start. So there's a break in the middle. It's like a halftime.
Right.
And then I start for 4 rounds, which is really cool. But they also do, in between each battle, they have the 2 dancers come and sit down and they talk for 10 minutes, and the audience can ask questions about the battle that they just saw. So it's following this whole thing of Nickel's Beyond the Moves kind of thing.
Kind of breaking down and understanding what's happening.
Yeah, more than just watching dance, I guess. And also this idea of the dance being not just a quick battle and get through. We're watching 5-6 rounds of someone, so it's you're really getting to see more of their artistry and stuff.
Yeah,
which is really cool. I think I'm looking forward to it.
It's not just a good moment. It's kind of more marathon style.
Exactly. We're gonna cover. We're gonna create some custom content from them, which I won't say too much about until next week, because you'll see it when we get back. But we're also going to be doing some social clips. So the clips that they'll upload of the battle of the rounds will be from us, and then they'll share their footage on YouTube.
Yeah, come on, media partner.
That's what we do. But it's nice to be international. We might have another international collaboration this summer, but we haven't talked about that yet. We haven't solidified the details to announce it yet.
It's not Cardinal official yet.
No, but it is international. Any international battles. I got my friend hit me up about one that
Who's your friend?
May or may not happen.
Is it a girl?
No, it's a guy who
good.
My Ottoman Empire friend. But we'll we will see what happens with the international stuff. But I'm hoping there will be plenty more to come of these international collaborations.
Yeah,
which
come
is
on.
Lovely. There's also
we're going worldwide, baby. Some
other bits and pieces in the works. I had a 4-hour meeting yesterday about something else.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. Shout out to Bird Gang, who put on the battle cage this weekend. Looked like a really sick battle.
Birds in a cage.
Yep, that's probably where they got that idea from.
Where you have to dance inside a cage.
Yeah, basically, no.
You can only enter if you've slept with somebody who's part of the cage.
Why would that be a thing?
Because it's in the cage.
What is it? Oh, what?
Battle in the cage.
You mean
cage battle?
The crew, the cage.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who else is in it except Alex, the cage.
Baloo.
The cage.
Idris.
The cage.
Valmira still, I think.
The cage. Okay, my joke wasn't that funny, and I feel like it's not going anywhere. But so tell comedy. Us, it's coming to a stand-up comedy near you.
It just looked like a good event. Anyway, they had 3-on-3 hip hop, stuff like that. And then what else is coming up? We've got Paintings Week coming up.
Oh yeah,
the week after our Nike event. So the 16th is
February.
So 16th of Feb is our event, and then on the Monday or Tuesday starts Paintings Week, which will be good. It usually ends with the In the Firehouse Kingdoms League event.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what else. Joe sent me a voice note that he says I should play on the pod, but it's probably going to be something stupid.
I feel like it's a trap.
I'm going to have to cut this out, aren't I?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's play it because we like to take risks.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the capsule. Yeah. Woo! Luke spells.
Okay, that wasn't bad. We can leave that in.
Yeah, shout out to Joe, Monkey Flip Media. I have him saved as Monkey Strip Media. What else is... Oh, yeah, so there's some videos I wanted to watch.
Oh.
Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to watch some videos, guys, and you can watch it with us. If you're listening, then you can just listen. But if you're watching, you can just watch. So this is a... Wait, there we go. So this is a video that just came out.
Real exclusive. Typical Ari.
By
I think I liked it better when
Ari.
was a few centimeters higher. Right. And I mean, who cares? She's happy.
Ariana Grande's new video called Yes And.
Yeah. Which features...
I miss the old Ari. You know, the singer.
You don't say. I hear she's starting her own artisanal hummus line next.
Oh my God, did she really do that?
Well, I read it on the internet, so it must be true.
Very on the nose. Of like, I wonder what the video is about. So yeah, this video is featuring Will West,
Superstar.
of Jungle fame. I mean, he was well known before that, but
Of just being a famous dancer.
he's the one that was in the Jungle videos, the main guy for people that don't know. And yeah, I don't know if this was filmed in the UK or how Will ended up in it.
I feel like it was probably in the States. Or maybe not, because isn't Ariana Grande in the UK?
I have no idea. How do you know her whereabouts?
She's in Wicked.
She's in Wicked?
Yeah.
Is that why this is... Oh, maybe that makes sense. I didn't know she was in it.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this Wicked movie.
Yeah.
So also these drums, I believe, they're not a sample of Vogue by Madonna, but they're the same drum pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
of Vogue by Madonna.
It sounds very retro.
Yeah. As well.
Hey, there's Will.
So, yeah, the reason that we're watching these also is
because Will's in it, and we'll
'cause
watch
Will's in
anything
it.
Will does.
We will literally watch anything Will does. But is that she references some old music videos, which
Right.
we're going to watch. It's like a reference within a reference.
Okay.
Obviously, the Vogue drums are probably a reference as well. I quite like the choreo.
Even the like railing thing, it's giving a bit Janet.
You're not far off. You might have. Did you see it when I loaded it up? What
No.
it was? Oh,
No.
okay. Yeah, it's not Janet, but it's that era.
Or like, what was it? With like scaffolding. Or is it Paula Abdul?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Are you
I
sure?
just have watched music videos. Come on now.
You're such a liar. You saw it.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
it's
swear
a
to
Paula
God.
Abdul video.
Is
What
it
a spoiler.
what's
You're just pretending now. You're gonna
no,
say
no,
it, and then
no,
it's
I
gonna
swear.
be. Go on.
I just can't think of it now because this song is playing.
Okay.
But yeah.
I quite like when music videos have like slower paced choreo.
Yeah.
And and it actually gives it time to breathe, and you can
Yeah.
actually watch it.
Yeah. Is it he's a cold-hearted snake?
Yep. You definitely saw it.
I didn't see it.
Cheater.
I just know my reference.
Yeah. But do you know what that video reference is? We're going Inception, a reference within a reference. If not, you're going to learn by the end of it.
It's a Michael Jackson.
No. Way off.
Okay.
So anyway, the whole point of this music video, I think, is that she's calling out her critics. Very hip-hop of her.
And but it's kind of like yes and or whatever. It's kind of like a similar thing to when she did Thank You Next.
Yeah, kind of. Except that was all about, like, this is the whole thing of why they done this format and this reference, because she's literally dancing for, like, critics. So that's, like, literally is very on the nose of, like, this is me.
It's
for my...
also bringing back what is it? Flashdance?
Is it? I don't know.
You know Flashdance in the
Yeah.
thing, it's like she's well, not Flashdance, but the scene of her dancing in the auditions.
Yeah, that's more
and
of
when
audition
J-Lo,
vibes,
when
yeah.
J-Lo did
Right, she referenced the video the same, yeah. Not a bad music video.
It was cute. Also, I do like.
I also like the one location, like keep it simple, that type of vibe, you know.
Also, it's like I feel like, I mean, there's different ways that things could be good.
Yeah. This is, by the way, everyone. This is the Paula Abdul video that Jenny guessed.
I did guess it.
Yeah, sure.
So have you even seen this dance?
I haven't, but
what was I gonna say?
There's different ways that things can be good.
Yeah, there's different ways that things can be good, but I think it's like at the end of the day, when it's like well filmed, it has like a nice visual, there's nice choreography, nice direction. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be
crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's more like the mature approach rather than making everything crazy, like a million things going on. It's like just I don't like to say it like this, but it's more the artistic way of like. You're actually caring about the art as opposed to just being like, all right, let's just put a big music,
like
big car in it.
Less can be more.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by mature,
yeah.
So this is the Paula Abdul video.
Which I knew.
Which you did guess correctly. I love this type of beat. This is so like...
This is so what you listen to when you drive.
Yeah, it really is. So this is what Ariana was referencing with her video. And this is Paula Abdul. Do you know much information about Paula Abdul that you can share with the audience?
Well, she was like quite a big pop artist for a time.
Yeah.
That was like before. I wouldn't be. Would it be the 90s? I guess.
No, earlier.
Really?
This is like 80s, I think.
80s, 90s. But I feel like by the time I was a teenager, she was like.
This was 1988, so you weren't far off.
Right. But I knew her more, like how I got to know her more was when she was a judge on American Idol.
American Idol, that's it, yeah. But she was, this is like my mum's generation of thing, but like she was like the dancer of her day.
I feel like she was like the J-Lo of her day.
Yeah. But she was like, you know how like we see like Chris Brown or Marion or whoever as J-Lo as the dancers, like it was like Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
She did that one, what's the one with the cartoon dancing?
Cartoon
The
dancing?
music video was like her and a cartoon dancing and it was really famous. I forget the name of it.
Oh, I forget.
She's also not terrible on the eye. What else was I gonna say? Oh, by the way,
there's just something about old videos that is like they're just still like so good.
Yeah. Also, because we kind of glamorize this retro look now, the this isn't VHS, of course, but it might be film. But no, I don't think it's film even.
Yeah, but you love a strong fan, like
yeah. It's all the stuff that's like cliches now.
Yeah, but
by the way, every time I do these videos or we watch videos and I name it like Dancers React, there's so many people, because it attracts the audience that aren't usual capsule audience. They always comment like, this is a terrible reaction. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Guys, if this is you, this is part of a podcast that we do. And we're watching the video as part of the podcast.
And any reaction counts as a...
Exactly. It's like,
you're not
reacting. They're like, you're just talking about it while it's playing. It's like, yeah.
What do you want me to be like?
Literally, they want... They want this. They want you to watch it and then pause it and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that detail. Play it again.
I love when they do the little like hit on the hip and then...
You know what I want? I want someone to come on the pod who is like not just a commercial dancer that they have experience and they know about commercial dance, but can tell me about like the history. Because it's a very interesting like lineage from like what is essentially like jazz dancers that were doing this type of stuff into like... They took the hip-hop influence and put it into jazz, and that's where we get like commercial choreo now, which is like not hip-hop, but it's also not jazz anymore.
Fair.
You know, and a lot of this and like Michael Jackson videos, like Michael Jackson never had hip-hop dancers. He had like jazz dancers who did a bit of pop-in and stuff. So it's just interesting. I really want to know about the history of that stuff. Guys, comment if you know anything about that, please.
Well, yeah.
And also, so...
What would you think?
What did you think?
It's very nice.
Let's go with the acting.
Okay.
The dancers
laugh.
What?
Okay, so that's a reference to what?
That was Ariana was a reference to that.
And then that
so
is a reference
wait. First question I have is Paula Abdul didn't know that Ariana was going to reference her video.
Okay.
The director and creators have if it wasn't obvious by the videos, they've admitted that it was a heavy it was a tribute almost. Paula Abdul didn't know. She wrote on either she posted on Insta or something or Twitter or something saying I woke up to see Ariana's video, this is amazing, what an honor, blah blah blah, and Ariana commented and it was all lovely.
Yeah.
There's a similar case of Beyonce using and referencing I can't pronounce her name because it's a Dutch name. I'm going to look it up now. But basically she referenced a video and it was, hold on, Anna something.
Was it when she's dancing on water? No.
Nah, it's a different one. Anyway, she referenced it and the woman whose choreography or the choreography film that she referenced hated it and was like, this is bullshit, and tried to kick up a fuss or whatever.
But you know what video it was?
Yeah, it was the what's 5 3 2 what's that one? Anyway, if you know, comment, guys.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so frustrating.
Should I find it because you're gonna get annoyed otherwise? Okay, fine. It is called Countdown.
Oh, yes. You know the one.
Right beside him. So this one references. I'm going to find her name now that we have that. She references a woman. I think it's a Dutch choreographer. I want to say it's something Keersmaker. I want to say.
Oh,
do you know that name?
Yeah.
What?
The Keersmaker something.
That's just what I said.
No, Andrea, is it?
No, I think it's Anna.
Anna the Keersmaker.
If I'm right, then I'm awesome.
But here lies the difference, I think, because what was this in reference to? A music video?
A dance film. Anna Theresa de Keersmaker.
Yeah.
Following the release of the video, Beyonce was accused by Belgian contemporary choreographer Anna Theresa de Keersmaker of stealing concepts from two of her pieces, the 1990 Achterland and 1983 Rosas Danst Rosas.
Yeah.
De Keersmaker accused Knowles of copying her choreography, costume sets, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, she basically said she wasn't honored and she didn't like it and it was shit and blah blah. It's from dance pieces, but they were dance films.
Yeah, but
go on.
Yeah. But this is the difference, right? For me, of if you take something that was as big as Cold Hearted, which is you're taking a pop iconic video that everybody knew, and you're referencing it as a pop video. It's kind of it's very obvious.
Yeah.
But if you're taking some obscure contemporary dance movie from 1975 that pretty much nobody has seen, and kind of taking it a lot, taking all the kind of look of it and some of the movement, and not crediting the person and not kind of.
But isn't that subjective? No. Ariana, Paula Abdul could have said, "Oh, your audience don't know about me, so you
no." But I'm saying
credit me or whatever.
It's the difference between an homage and then the person. Also, there's a power dynamic at play, where a contemporary dance company, blah, blah, is remotely unknown. And then there's the biggest pop artist on the planet that's taking their stuff and putting it on their platform. And everybody's hailing them as the genius.
Right.
It's there's kind of a dynamic where Paula Abdul at the time that she did this was at her height and had a similar platform to Ariana Grande.
Fair.
Relative to the time.
Yeah, but isn't that isn't that somewhat subjective though still?
Yeah, but it's and this is the difference of this kind of on paper, okay, you're taking something that people knew and kind of not copying it, but kind of kind of reproducing it in some way. But it's like just how you do it and how you approach it and who that person is and what, like,
it's really a case by case basis.
What their work has been like and what kind of visibility, and not having their agreement, like, you know, not having them agree to it, I think is like a sensitive thing. And of course, when you're somebody who's like a millionaire, like the biggest pop artist on the planet, and you're kind of finding some
obscure thing,
or not
but
obscure,
like if you credit them, then does it become an homage? Because you're saying I want to like highlight this artist, and it's like I'm paying tribute to it because I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but Beyonce had that even with the single ladies, like the Bob Fosse thing. But Bob Fosse is was a lot more known than the Kielsmaker.
Well, speaking of Bob Fosse,
yeah,
Cold Hearted was inspired by this. So we have a reference within a reference within a reference. So Ariana was inspired by Paula Abdul, and then Paula Abdul's, or her director, or whoever came up with the concept, was basically doing a reference or a homage to this.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the thing. It's like,
what is the thing?
Yeah, I think it's always a risk, you know, to kind of take something and there's a difference between like being inspired by something or a certain aesthetic and
that's the thing,
reproducing
is like,
it.
If you steal something, it's a bit more obscure because you're just taking. But when you're like really reproducing it, it's like you must know.
Yeah.
That we know.
Yeah, but I just think it's like, if you're really reproducing something, I think that's when the like power dynamic comes in. Like if you're gonna make million off of it and the person is obscure, like a small artist,
you have to do something to rectify that.
Like I don't think Paula Abdul needs to be compensated. Like
again, that's still subjective though. I agree.
Yeah,
but it's like, say, you never know what her circumstances.
I feel like how the artist is likely to react would be probably informed by what situation they're in,
and it's more of a human issue than a legal issue. You know what I mean? Because it's like, again, then we go down the whole thing of like copywriting dance, and like that's a whole, we could go into that topic with this, but we won't. But like, where does it end of like what you're allowed to do and what you can be sued for and stuff like that? And it's like, I don't necessarily think we should be able to copyright dance completely. Everyone goes on that bandwagon and they're like, yeah, copywriting dance is amazing. And I'm not sure I agree. But it's more of a human issue.
Yeah.
That it's like you have to kind of, it's more of like, how do I feel as a human? Not necessarily, even if it's legal, it can mean it's still not right, you know? But you know, it's so funny of like how much things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
No, because I feel like this is like in a way different enough to like be inspired by, but not be like a carbon copy of.
Sure. And I mean,
in terms of the movie,
it's pretty similar. And the concept is the same, and it's like clearly a reference. But but that's why it's so funny. You see a lot of times like on Insta or something, there'll be people that like, or TikTok, that people want to get reels that go viral. So they talk about Drake like stealing, like they're like, he stole this verse bar for bar, and it's like he did one with in the Chicago freestyle where he's Eminem's Superman. I don't know if you heard that, where it's like I'll play it just for the people at home that might not know what we're talking about.
All good, I don't even know if she a wife, but I do know one thing though. Women, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday.
There's no way we're monetizing this episode.
Maybe I'll love you one day. Maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, I sit my drunk ass on that runway on this one way.
Yeah,
so that comes
from Eminem,
which was my era. Explicit lyrics coming up. Where is it?
Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day, maybe we'll someday grow. Till then, just sit your drunk ass on that fucking runway, ho.
I used to love that song. So basically, yeah, Drake used that in his thing, and then people were like, yeah, Drake does this all the time, but so do a lot of rappers. They like use a little thing like from a Biggie song or whatever, and people are like, oh, look, he's stealing it bar from bar, and it's like he's
Reference,
not necessarily like crediting Eminem, but you would hope that people know these songs.
Yeah, like he's not pretending he wrote that.
Yeah, but is he though? Like that's the whole debate. Is like, you know, it's like, does he still need to credit people or whatever? But yeah, there's an interesting topic of like the copyright in dance and that sort of thing of like, should they have power? Like, do you think that the Keersmaker should be able to sue Beyonce for doing that?
I mean, sue, I don't know, but it's like have some form of compensation, even if it's like an official credit.
So legally, they should like say. So she technically should be able to sue, but the outcome should not be less like could be like crediting them or whatever.
Yeah,
like
at least.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's like in the credit of the music video.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting because it's like it opens up a whole can of worms of like.
Because it was like, even with the Beyonce thing, I feel like we maybe spoke about this, but
Could be.
with the Beyonce thing and was it Jaquel Knight that choreographed the Single Ladies video?
I don't know, but yeah, go on.
But it's like, okay, but this is Bob Fosse's choreography, basically.
Yeah.
So like, should you have the credit of choreographer?
Right. Well, yeah, but I guess
don't
also
know if
like
it was him that did it.
There's a Kendrick Lamar video, Element.
Yeah.
Where if you watch Element, there's a interesting YouTube video about it online you can find somewhere. But like, if you watch Element, there's a lot of the scenes in the music video are referencing an older black photographer that used to do a lot of like civil rights stuff, and he was very important in his time, and his pictures are very famous, but not anywhere near Kendrick Lamar. But he's referencing these pictures and like he's recreating them, and no one's ever criticized Kendrick Lamar of that because it's very obviously like the people that know go, oh, that's really cool that he's referencing, and he's made it fit the music video and it's part of the music video. But you're just seeing these scenes that are like from these photographs of this guy.
Yeah, but it's like if he was selling prints of the, like that would be different.
Yeah, but he's making a ton of money from the Element music video.
But do artists make? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Fair. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not like. I feel like these issues are, like, difficult to.
Yeah.
But I just think it's like when you're a huge artist and you kind of take stuff that's been kind of created by artists that are a lot less known and have a lot less means and have a lot, then it's like the least that you could do is like give them credit. It's still people can like look them up and they can be discovered, by people.
I'm with you on that.
Like, yeah, that's my
2 cents.
That's my legal 2 cents.
Okay, we'll hold you to that when you reference someone in your tech AI performance.
I will.
Yeah. Reference me.
It'll be in the thank you notes.
You say what's up, everyone, then you have to pay the capsule.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we'll leave that there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. See you at the first official launch of the Nike Own the Floor sessions.
My God.
Nike timed the capsule.
Nike X.
Own the Floor sessions at Cachette in Shoreditch.
You know what cachette means in French?
To hide something.
Yeah, it's like where you go to hide.
It's my cachette, like my hiding place.
Yeah.
Like, and it does feel like a hiding place in that place.
And when we
guys, the fucking venue is beautiful. You have to see it. It's going to be so nice.
You know when we say like, you want to play hide and seek?
Yeah.
We say like, tu veux jouer à la cachette.
Oh, it's called cachette.
Yeah.
Cachette and trouver.
No, just cachette. It's just like hiding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the venue is called hide and seek. But is that Montreal that says cachette or French?
I wouldn't be able. Probably French people from France have another name for it because they always
tell people why this is different. That if they don't know anything about Montreal and France.
Oh, because French Canadian is like French Canadian is like,
which is where you're from.
yes, Quebec. The French is like what it is to French from France is like what it would be like a Scottish person and someone from Texas.
Right. So
Like-
it's still English, but it's very different.
Yeah, like the accent is different. You use different expressions. They might not use exactly the same words to describe certain things, but it's like it's the same language.
And your Canadian French is old French.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, obviously because when French people colonized North America, they spoke a certain way. So it's like
It stayed.
yeah, and like a lot of the words that we use, let's say for like, let's say a water fountain,
Yeah.
we call it like a trough.
Right.
So it's like
The old school words.
Yeah, because like back in the day, it was a trough for animals, and it's like it was really old, and water fountains didn't exist.
Got you.
So it's like a lot of this stuff that we use, French people understand, but they just find it really funny that it's like that's not what that is.
It's called.
Yeah, it's used
Well,
for.
interestingly enough, the American accent is closer to what the English accent was at the time of the American independence or the Civil War or whatever. Like that's what English used to sound like, and British now is not what is like. The American accent is closer to Old English than our accent, so it's probably similar.
But so even when you, it's funny. There's people from Lille, they say like le.
Yeah.
So they're gonna talk and then they're gonna have the French accent, but they're gonna say le as a punctuation almost.
Okay, like as if I would say or right.
And in Quebec we say that a lot, like ben le, c'est quoi le? Like the le is kind of just an extra
filler word.
Yeah, filler word.
And people in Lille say that as well.
And people in Lille say that. So it's like, French people always love to make fun of Quebecers. And then I met someone from Lille, and then he was like, oh, ouais, je sais pas le. And then I was like, oh my God, so annoying.
Well, because they would make fun of you,
yeah,
but
because I was
they
just
say
thinking that they were making fun of me. I was just like,
right.
okay.
But he actually said it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we get it. Like, la, la. And he was like, what? Like, what? And then I only clicked later that they say it as well. So I was like, this is probably
It's
where
kind
we
of
got
like
it from.
Like how Americans might say right or something. Like we don't really say right. We would like, they'd be like, so I went to this coffee shop, right? And like in London, you wouldn't say right. You'd be like, yeah, maybe. You'd be like, I went to this coffee shop, yeah. And then after that, like there's different punctuation words.
And then
I guess.
you kind of discover where like certain accents like come from, but you hear it from the source. And it's even like maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but it's like even in like the way that like some Jamaican people speak, you hear like the Irish accent.
Yeah, there's that's a whole different situation. Well, actually not much different because I guess yours was colonization and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But so it's just like the language and influence of certain things. It's like some of it evolves in differently in different places. But then you go to a certain area and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's the link. Where you see the history. I love etymology and like this like the kind of building of language. But that's a different podcast. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. See you on Friday night, and Paris, see you on Saturday.
I was like, Paris is coming, but Paris the city, not the person.
Well, maybe Paris is coming to Paris, and then I'll see Paris and Paris on Saturday.
Okay.
Evian's a guest on Saturday.
Oh, sick.
And I happen to know about another UK person who's going, but I don't think it's common knowledge yet, so I won't spoil the surprise, but I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, love you guys all for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Get in the comments if you have any questions or you disagree with us about anything that we've said, and I will be sure to read it and reply.
And respond with a very diplomatic answer.
Yeah, it's one of my strengths. Love you all. Thanks for tuning into the capsule.
You're welcome.
See you next week. Peace.
Love you. Miss you.